Start recording. Stop recording button.
Hey everyone, I rarely upload on this page, but it's time to make a video about something that has been a barrier to me during this pandemic. And that is not only here in Ohio, where I'm from, but a lot of transportation companies are denying people with disabilities transporting them to healthcare facilities, or even transporting them when they're sick so they could get the proper testing that they need. Um, there's something wrong with this. This is not okay. Um, this is definitely not okay. And if you are one of those transportation companies watching my video right now and listening to me, that is part of someone that is not transporting people with disabilities to medical facilities, even if they are healthy. Some companies, including Coda Mainstream here in Columbus, Ohio, is not transporting people with disabilities to any medical facilities. And I just learned um, that they are not transporting anybody with underlying conditions such as myself at all to anywhere. What I have to say about that, if you are a company that is doing this practice and listening to this, watching this video, shame on you. Shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Um, because, you know, we people with disabilities, transportation, we can't just bug our friends every time we want to go somewhere. I don't like doing that, and I know a lot of people with disabilities don't like doing that. We need our freedom, and we definitely need to go get the necessary medical care that we need. Um, medical care cannot, not all medical issues can be resolved over the phone. People need routine testing, such as myself, who have underlying medical conditions. Um, Now, there are some transportation companies that I have heard of, like Cleveland, Ohio, for example. Their paratransit, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's kind of like our Project Mainstream, Code Mainstream here in Columbus. They are transporting people with disabilities. They are transporting to COVID 19 testing sites. They are getting the care that they need to their personnel residents. You know what? Good for you. We we definitely appreciate that. Keep on doing what you're doing. And for mayors, some mayors have offered to send the fire departments in some cities, like Detroit, Michigan, for example, um, send fire department to a person with a disability. Send them. They have sent them to their house for free. Some, I forget where it was. I think it's in Washington. It was in Washington where some where the mayor is allowing giving free transportation to people with COVID 19, or I should say, people who need COVID 19 testing, free transportation to a COVID testing site. You know what? That's great. That is great. But for the others, shame on you. I personally have contacted the Ohio governor, the lieutenant governor, um, the mayor here in Columbus, Ohio. Not only through email, I've used Facebook and Twitter, because Facebook and Twitter, if you put something on there, on their page, or if you tweet them, I found that does get their attention real quick. That there's something important, and you know what? I hope Governor DeWine here in Ohio, that's our governor here in Ohio, I hope he comes down on these transportation services that are restricting people hard. I hope he comes down on you all hard, um, because we cannot get the transportation that we need. Now I have talked to a few Uber and Lyft drivers here in Columbus, who say they are fine with transporting people to a medical facility. They're fine with that, and you know what? That is great. That is great to hear. I'm glad that that there are drivers who are willing to do that. But again, for the rest of you, get your act together. People with disabilities, such as myself, I'm visually impaired. Um, y'all need to y'all need to make exceptions. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I totally understand why you all are doing this. I totally understand the restrictions, um, but it's especially hard for us with people with disabilities. I mean, we we can wear PPE. I have no problem wearing PPE. I wear a mask every time I go outside, whether it's take the trash out or do whatever. Um, I'm fine with that. I would sit in the back of the bus. I would sit in the back of someone's car on the passenger side to be as far away from the driver as possible. Um, Now, I did talk to someone who has a disability here in Ohio that was able to get access to her doctor, um, with Coda Mainstream. And the only way she was able to do that is her doctor is actually in a shopping mall. So she told them that she was going shopping. And that's sad when you have to lie to get, you know, to get transportation, because otherwise you won't be able to get it. So, I am working on this. I am advocating for people with disabilities because we do not need transportation restrictions like this in place, because it's hard on us. Anyways, comment down below, subscribe, and like.